JM Baseball Trivia is presented by Fanatics Markets, where fans trade on sports. I am here with my good friend, Jimmy Knorp. I am here making his debut with Sam. Do you want to be a millionaire?
I've really always wanted to be a millionaire.
Always have wanted to be a millionaire.
Wouldn't
People
hurt.
are saying. All right, Jimmy Knorp, I have 13 questions for you.
Okay.
2 lifelines, a 50-50, and a phone a friend.
Okay.
If I get one wrong, is my game over?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, if you get one wrong, you're
Short video!
All right, here is your $100 question. Which of these pitchers has not reached 4,000 career strikeouts? Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Justin Verlander, or Steve Carlton?
I was getting nervous because I looked at A, B, D first, and I was like, oh, God.
Oh, okay.
But then I saw, I
Right.
feel confident, C, my guy Justin Verlander is not at the 4,000 mark.
I'm pretty sure that, due to the way pitchers are utilized nowadays, some injuries the last couple years, I think he hit 3,000 a couple years ago, but definitely hasn't hit 4, so I'm going to lock in C, Justin Verlander.
C is correct. That's a great job.
Come on.
That's a great job. You have officially won 100 fake dollars. Great job. You are on the board. Here is your next question. 7 players in MLB history have reached both 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. Which of these players is not one of them? Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, Ken Griffey Jr., or Alex Rodriguez?
Griffey, due to injuries, kind of makes me think that he might have not got to 3,000 hits, but he is the kid. A-Rod, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about Pujols and A-Rod.
Okay, let's go process of elimination.
Right.
Miggy Cabs has. Albert Pujols has.
Oh, God, I really just can't lose it on the second one. It'd be a brutal debut.
Does Ken Griffey Jr. not have 3,000 hits?
I will lock in C, Ken Griffey Jr.
It's gotta be C, Ken Griffey Jr.
C is correct.
That is shocking, though.
That's a great job. 2,781 hits for Ken
Wow.
Griffey Jr. That is correct.
Okay.
Great job.
That's a hard.
Is it?
Just because you put in 4 such great players and
that's true.
I guess Griffey is also a great defender, whereas the other 3, I guess A-Rod in his prime was too.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations, 250 fake dollars.
Yes!
The draft has really provided a lot of hope for you, by the way.
Very handsome.
Roger Clemens won a Cy Young in both leagues. He picked up his NL Cy Young in 2004 with which team? The Astros, the Phillies, the Braves, or the Mets?
This is one, again, I feel confident, but sometimes I think you can feel overconfident. But I think this is some trickery here.
now this is one I'm very confident in. It's an underrated year from Clemens.
I believe it's A, the Houston Astros, who are now an American League team, but at that time were a National League team. I'm locking in A, Houston Astros.
His 04 Cy Young was with an NL Central team, which was at the time the Houston Astros.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
That is the correct answer. Great job.
I know he wasn't a Met. Was he? I don't think he was ever a Philly or Brave, right?
He was
No.
not.
Okay.
No. That's your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Oh, but don't do that.
Don't do
Who
what?
does that? Is that your final answer?
That one felt a lot better than the first two, I'll say that.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So you now have 500 fake dollars. We're
Okay.
going for 1,000 now.
Okay.
This could be a nice chunk of change for you.
Nice chunk of fake change.
That's what I'm saying. The 2003 Detroit Tigers finished 43-119 for, at the time, the most losses in American League history. Which team did they come close to surpassing? The New York Mets, the Kansas City Athletics, the Cincinnati Reds, and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Interesting.
I'm definitely using a lifeline here.
Oh,
The question is which one?
which one?
I just
Okay.
don't know if 50-50 even helps me is the problem. But I really want to save that phone a friend. I could call Jolly. He would probably know if it's the Mets. I don't think it's the Reds. I'm going to go 50-50, and I'm going to hope that the Reds remain on the board.
Okay. It is not the Kansas City Athletics,
I didn't think it was.
and it is not the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay. Okay, that's good, because I was kind of leaning Pirates, to be honest.
This one is also one that I feel very good about because I believe it's my team, and I believe the inaugural 1962 Mets are the ones that hold the record for the worst record of all time. And I feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to lock in A, the New York Mets.
I am going to go A, New York Mets.
That is correct.
Thank goodness. Okay.
Great job.
There goes my headset. Where's the draft?
They held that record for a while, but I think the White Sox broke
I think the
right?
I think the White Sox
In
and
23,
Rockies both.
and then the Rockies in 24.
Actually, I don't know if Rockies in 20. I think they had like a little bit of a stretch towards the end that they might have jumped past it, but
I don't remember.
yeah, the Mets held it for quite a while.
Okay, that was a good use, because I might have said Pirates, so that was a good
Good job. Okay, you have $1,000.
use. Come back to me.
Who holds the MLB record for the most home runs in a single postseason? Jose Altuve, Corey Seager, Randy Arozarena, or Nelson Cruz?
My two initial leans, and there's one I feel quite a bit more confident on, are Seager and Randy.
My initial lean, if we're thinking out loud, is Randy Arozarena. I know he had that massive postseason, but I don't know if at that time if his record was hits, which I now know is Ernie Clement. But at that time, he might have taken over the record for hits. I'm not sure if it was home runs.
So part of me kind of wants to use a 50-50, because if one of those two is left and the other gets eliminated, I feel pretty good. But if I 50-50 and they're both left, it doesn't really help me. I could also be wrong, and it could be like, I'm assuming Nelson Cruz's run would be like 2011 with the Rangers. Altuve could be fucking any year.
Jose Altuve's had some master postseasons. Corey Seager's had some massive World Series. And Nelson Cruz used to torture my Tigers in the playoffs back in the day.
That Randy postseason was so nuts. And I believe he won ALCS MVP, and they had more games. So that's why I'm leaning those two, because I think they ended up playing more games because of the extended format, because they let more teams in.
I am going to go gut here. I'm like 70% sure, which is good enough. I think it's C, Randy Arozarena.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
I'm going to go with Randy. I'm going to stick with C, Randy Arozarena.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
And that is the correct answer. Great
Good.
job.
Is it 11?
I believe it's 11.
Okay.
That is correct.
Come on! Let's go. Let's
Great
go.
job.
Let's go. Yeah!
Let's go. You're cooking.
We're almost halfway there.
Well,
Well,
10.
10? Okay.
10. Which is pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
You take that.
We'll take that.
Take that.
And I'll take $2,500.
Yeah, you will. $2,500. Absolutely real dollars. Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling shared the 2001 World Series MVP award. How many times has this happened in total in World Series history?
This is going to be the first one that I have absolutely no lead. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't even think I knew it happened once.
Okay, that's fair.
feels like this one would be a complete guess.
Okay.
Although I thought that was kind of the only time that's ever happened.
I think here, since like the 50-50 won't help me because I don't know which way to even lean at all, I think I'm going to use my phone a friend lifeline.
Okay.
And I'll lock that in.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
I think I'm going to try Diversa. But I'm a little upset because if it's 2, I'm going to feel bad. But I'm going to give Diversa a ring.
All right.
I want to call Lucas Diversa.
Right. Of course, of course.
But I don't know if I have his phone number.
I'm calling Jolly instead.
You're picking the guy that probably knows less about awards.
I'm going to FaceTime him.
Okay.
Hello, Ryan Cohen.
What's up?
This is Sam Peters. I'm currently on Jam Baseball, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Swilly.
Hey, Ryan.
Wow.
I use my phone a friend, and I don't want to. I don't know how to put this delicately. No. You actually stay out there because, again, I don't know how to put this delicately. You're not my phone a friend. It's Lucas Diversa, but I don't have his phone number. And you'll understand why when you hear the question. But I would love for you to go over to Lucas Diversa and hold this phone up to him if you could.
I don't know if I feel like it. Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you.
I'm crying.
Jolly. No, this is really important. I'm trying to win $1 million. You're going to have to stop recording.
Okay, you're on baseball today, but not
I'm on baseball today.
yeah.
Okay, Jolly, here's the question. And I don't know why I called you.
Just go fuck yourself.
You're not. Wait, can I ask Rose instead? Can I actually ask Rose?
It's Trev, it's not Rose.
That doesn't help.
Hey, Sam, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm doing okay.
Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling shared the 2001 World Series MVP award. How many times has that happened in World Series history where 2 players shared the award? 2, 3, 4, 5.
I was going to say 0.
You see, me too. So was I. My lean was that was the only time it's ever happened. Right, so my thought, if we're talking a lot, I thought 2, because I was like, I can't remember this ever happening.
Off the top of my head, I'm struggling to think of another one.
Okay.
So, like, I would probably go with the lowest number. Considering.
That's kind of what I thought. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think I knew that this happened in 2001.
That's the only one I would have been able to pull off the top of my head of it happening. Like, I do believe it's probably happened another time, so I would go 2.
That's kind of where my lean was too.
Ryan is looking at me and nodding, so he agrees.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go 2 or 3. I think it's below.
Well, which one is it, damn it?
Ooh.
Hi, Lucas DeVersa, and hi, Ryan Cohen. They just entered the room for people.
Skip the shit out of me.
All right. Well, based on what my good friends Lucas DeVersa and Ryan Cohen have told me,
Right.
I'm gonna lock in A 2 times.
Okay, me and Jolly Olive have decided to go with 2, and if it's wrong, it's his fault.
Is 2 your final answer?
Is 2 our final answer?
Yeah, I mean, that's my final answer.
2's his final answer.
That is correct.
Yes!
Great
Now,
job.
Jolly, I gotta say, I'm a little upset because I called you and you said everything that I said, so I feel like I just wasted my phone call.
That is correct. Yes. Great job. Great job.
See, I'm glad I got it right,
Of course.
but that's what I would have said anyway, so I'm a little sad about it.
Okay. 1981
Okay.
was the only other time that it's happened.
Is that
Dodgers, Yankees. Yep, Dodgers, Yankees.
okay? Who are the 2 co-MVPs?
There were actually 3.
Oh, that's stupid.
Right? Steve Yeager, Ron C, and Pedro Guerrero. Since 2000, the longest hit streak in MLB is 33 games, set in 2011. Whose streak is it?
Ooh.
Miguel Cabrera, Ryan Braun, Jose Reyes, or Dan Uggla?
Now, I'll tell you what. If it's Dan Uggla, what a curveball that would be. But then again, why is he on this list? It's like 3 really good players and Dan Uggla.
Dan Uggla was a great player.
No disrespect to Dan Uggla,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
I view him as like a power-hitting second baseman.
Right.
The name Dan Uggla is sticking out
Yeah.
like a sore thumb, and for some reason, it feels kind of right.
My initial thought here is I am going to cross Dan Uggla. If it's him and I lose, I'm like, all right, that's whatever. I would also cross Miguel Cabrera because if it was him, I feel like I would know that.
I feel like if Reyes had a 33-game hit streak, I would remember it, and I don't necessarily. Like, it doesn't sound crazy.
Jose Reyes is my guy. Ryan Braun had a hell of a 2011.
And again, he's like a power hitter, so it just sticks out like a sore thumb with Dan Uggla being on here. Like, I know Braun and Miggy obviously had power, but, like, obviously kind of more complete hitters, where I think of Dan Uggla more as, like, a second baseman with pop.
Go with your gut. I am going to go B, Ryan Braun.
So I'm either getting Mandela affected or something in my brain is telling me it's right. I'm gonna go D, Dan Uggla, and I'm gonna lock that in as my final answer.
It's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
It is not Ryan Braun. It's the right answer.
Okay.
Great job.
I was like, there's something in my head screaming it's Dan Uggla, and he is just like slightly an outlier on this board.
Right. It's Dan Uggla.
Are you kidding me?
The one guy that's not like anyone else on the list.
I thought
Jimmy
you were
Knorp.
playing tricks. Dan Uggla had 33 straight games with a hit.
He sure did.
All right, you know what? That would have been a good one to have a phone a friend, I guess. So that's, I think, where I went wrong.
Tough.
I think I went wrong on how the strategy of the game.
Well, maybe for next time.
Maybe for next time.
Jimmy Knorp had the same thought process as you, but he still didn't pick Dan Uggla, and you've now made it farther than Jimmy.
Let's go! I was talking shit earlier. I needed to be
Good, good. And you have a lifeline
And I
still,
have a
like you
lifeline.
mentioned. All right, $25,000 question coming up. That's a lot of money.
That's
right
a lot of moolah.
Since 1990, who has the most innings pitched in the playoffs? Tom Glavine, Justin Verlander, Andy Pettit, or Clayton Kershaw?
This is fun. Now, Kershaw was there a lot, obviously, with the Dodgers, even up till this past year. I think his, maybe early days, but he also had some injuries toward the end. And the Dodgers weren't always making it very deep in the playoffs for a lot of Kershaw's career. There was a lot of talk about them not making it to a World Series, and then 17 they lose it. You know, they didn't win the first of his career till 2020. So that makes me lean more towards Glavine and Pettit. Verlander, I think, yeah, those Tiger teams were good, but there was also some bad ones, and he's missing the playoffs quite a few years. Pettit, early on the Astros, I don't know much about his time there or the Astros at that point, but then he's on the Yankees dynasty. They're in the World Series every single year. He's the best or the second best pitcher on a lot of those teams. It's, 90s, early 2000s baseball. Starters are going 7-8 innings pretty consistently. And then it's the same thing with Glavine. The Braves dynasty of the 90s. He goes to the Mets a little bit towards the end, but in my head he has a longer career, but is a good bit of that before 1990? Because I feel like he retires around 2010 and he has a 20 maybe plus year career. Let's use the lifeline. I'm going to use my 50-50.
Okay. 2 of the answers that are incorrect are Tom Glavine and Justin Verlander.
My full lean was Andy Pettit, but I wasn't confident enough on it. I will be shocked if Clayton Kershaw has more than Pettit. I just don't see how it's possible. Pettit was making it 2 and winning the World Series every single year with the Yankees for the majority of his career there, and he was there for quite a while. Pretty confident in C, Andy Pettit being my final answer.
That is the correct answer.
Now I really wish I didn't use my lifeline because I was leaning him the whole way, but...
All right, great job. We're moving on to the $50,000 question.
Woo!
This is a lot of money right here. Which New York Met has hit the most home runs versus the Detroit Tigers all time? Carlos Beltran, Francisco Lindor, David Wright, or Pete Alonso?
Now, clarifying question.
Okay.
Is this as a Met? Or is this...
This is as a Met.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first one I think I'm out on is Beltran. At the time he's playing there, interleague is not really a thing, and so I can't imagine he is getting many games versus the Tigers. Wright now has the longevity over the other two. A lot of those years he's injured and not playing. And also a lot of those years are early in the middle of the 2000s, early 2010s. Again, interleague is not super, super prevalent. Pete Alonso is our all-time home run leader, and for the majority of his career, he's playing in the interleague era. He's playing usually 2 series a year against the Tigers, 1 at home, 1 away. And Pete never missed games. 2 years on Lindor. Lindor comes in 21, so Alonso's got 19 and 20. Do I think we played the Tigers in 2020 during COVID? I don't. Do I even know? I think the interleague stuff kind of starts more when Lindor gets there. I think if I think too much, I'm going to overthink it. And even in the shorter time frame, he has more home runs than anyone in Mets history, and he did it all during a time where they were playing more interleague games. So I'm going to lock in Pete Alonso D as my final answer.
That is the correct answer.
Let's go.
Great job.
Okay.
Your logic was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso, if you had to guess how many home runs he has versus the Tigers,
9.
what do you think? I'm going to double check because I don't have the list pulled up in front of me, but I think it's 4 or 5.
That actually, 9 actually, now that I'm saying it, 6 games a year is not that many. Yeah.
6-figure question. Are you ready, Sam
I'm
Peters? All right, here we go. Ichiro's 262 hits in 2004 broke a single season record that had stood since 1920. Whose record was it? Was it Ty Cobb, George Sisler, Rogers Hornsby, or Wee Willie Keeler?
Last name's awesome.
This is so good, right?
I've got a big smile on my face.
Okay.
And there's a reason. Mm-hmm. And I believe this is just one of those baseball facts that I know. Although Ty Cobb and Roger Hornsby are legends, and I've never heard, but will now never be able to forget about Wee Willie Keeler.
That's right.
I'm quite certain that this record was, I believe he was a Cincinnati Red or whatever the city for the Reds was at this time. I believe it's George Sisler B, and I'm going to lock that in as my final answer.
That's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
It's the right answer.
Go.
That's a great job.
Let's go.
Come on, Sam.
Come on.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I believe he was a Red as well.
Okay.
I spent a tad bit of time on his page when I was
I've never
looking
really
this
gone
up.
through his page outside of, I think, just knowing this fact. So
St. Louis Browns
Okay.
was the team that he was on.
Okay.
You have 3 more questions left.
Fuck.
You have 3 questions
This would
left.
be cool.
Since 2000, which hitter has accumulated the most hits? Freddie Freeman, Andrew McCutchen, Jose Altuve, Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good about this because I believe I've hosted a Hits Since 2000 Pinpoint Challenge. And just through logic, he's, in my head, the most consistent. he's been the best through the whole period of, most of these guys are pretty much in the same period, about around 2010 to around now. The only other one I think it might be is Altuve, but I'm pretty darn certain it's Freddie Freeman. I'm so certain that I'm not so certain, but I don't think I'm going to change my mind. So I'm going to lock in a Freddie Freeman as the hitter with the most hits since 2000.
And that's your final answer.
That is my final answer.
That's the correct answer.
Let's go! Come on!
Great job, Sam.
Let's go.
You're crushing. All right, let's go to your $500,000 question. Here we go. Who holds the MLB career record for pinch hit home runs with 23? Cliff Johnson, Matt Stairs, Willie McCovey, or Jerry Lynch?
Well, I'm smiling once again.
Okay.
I think there's a chance I see a 7-figure question in my pretty immediate future.
Okay.
Cliff Johnson and Jerry Lynch, names that I am not super familiar with. Willie McCovey, one I'm very familiar with. But, and again, this is one, if I die on this hill, I'm fine. When I was growing up, he was a Philly for a lot of my career, although he did bounce around, or my time watching as like a kid. And I think at least in our generation, there's not, another guy who's more known for being a pinch hit guy, especially a pinch hit homer guy. I feel like Willie McCovey was too good. He'd be starting too many games. They weren't giving, there was no load management back when Willie was playing. So Matt Stairs, that's all he did. He didn't start many games. He was there to be a bench bat and come off and provide power off the bench. And so again, if this is where I die right before the $1 million question, I can live with that. But I'm going to die on the guy I know, and I'm going to go with B, Matt Stairs as my final answer.
Sam Peters, that's the correct answer.
Let's go!
That's a great job. Jimmy Knorp is going to be so pissed. Hey, you made it very far, and I'm very proud of you. But we have one more question left, and it's the $1 million question. And if you get this question right, not only do you not get $1 million, but I will buy you lunch.
Oh, that's... You know what? Lunch from Swill might even be better than $1 million.
Stop. Alex Rodriguez holds the MLB career record for grand slams. How many did he hit? 21, 23, 25, or 27?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
This is a really good $1 million question.
Thank you.
There's a couple, there's not really a way for me to logic my way to this. The number 27 is in my head. I think that may be the postseason home run record that Altuve is either close to or broke recently that Manny Ramirez used to have. I think it was 27. The thing is, they're so close to, I'm realistically, one grand slam a year is pretty great. He probably had some years where he had a couple, some years with none. Mattingly had that year with 6 and then hadn't done other in his entire career, which is silly.
Crazy stat.
The one number that's kind of talking to me is 23. I don't know why. At first, it was 25, 27. I kind of talked myself out of 27 because I think that number is ubiquitous with other things. And for those that don't know, Jimmy Knorp
just walked in.
Wait, this is for $1 million.
Jimmy Knorp has noticed the money value in the top left of the screen.
We were going to come grab you, but you kind of
We were going to come grab you and do a little bit. Yeah, I got Dan Ugla. I think I'm just going to eliminate 21 and 27 because that's what you do on a test. Those are the outliers per se. Those are the highest and lowest numbers. You'd pick a number and then you'd pick one higher, one lower, two higher, whatever. So I'm between B and C, and for some reason 25 feels like a nice round number where if I had heard that number, that would maybe stick with me more of A-Rod has 25 grand slams, that's 100 RBIs just off grand slams. So I feel like that number maybe would have stuck with me. And again, something's calling me to that number 23. Maybe it's my GOAT LeBron James. Maybe it's my other GOAT Javi Baez. I'm not talking myself into or out of anything. I think I've kind of landed where I landed, and we're gonna go with that. So I'm gonna lock in B, 23 grand slams for Alex Rodriguez.
And that's your final answer.
That's my final answer. I'm gonna block my eyes so I can't see Swilly's reaction when she says if that's correct or not.
Sam Peters.
Yes.
B, 23 is incorrect.
Damn it.
It was C, 25.
No! My logic was good.
Your logic was good. You even 50-50'd. Unbelievable run for Sam Peters in his debut JM Baseball Trivia video. Great job. Kind of wiped the floor with Jimmy Norman.
Well,
he just left the room and slammed
he's
the
not
door.
happy. He is not happy.
Not happy about it. Of course you are.
I'm pretty happy.
As you should be. Well, great job.
Thank
Super
you.
proud of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know down below which question was your favorite and who you want to see on the next episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And tell Sam good job. Tell Sam good job
Thanks,
for his
guys.
debut.
See you at the Pinpoint Challenge.
Yes.
It's probably one already came out this week, so next week, Pinpoint Challenge every Tuesday.
Love. All right, guys. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.